You always forget to breathe at these talks. So glad my therapist is in the front row tonight. I'm going to be looking at you. So, as Anne said, I'm a holistic practitioner. I'm a registered holistic nutritionist. I'm an NLP coach, and I'm also a co-founder of the IBS Academy here in Toronto. What you might not know about me is that I am also a recovered drug and alcohol addict who self-medicated for over 20 years and also suffered from pretty serious depression and anxiety during those 20 years. The etiology of my life during those 20 years came from being raised in a home with pretty severe abuse and neglect from my family. And it really came as a gift because I learned so much from those years living in an abusive home. And unfortunately, my mother was not able to break the cycle. And before having her own 2 baby girls, she was projecting a lot of the negativity onto us and me. And the abuse that I saw in that home and the things that I witnessed formed my model of the world, if you can imagine. So throughout my teenage years and throughout, I'm sorry if I cry because this is the first time that I've spoken publicly about this. I needed to self-medicate. It was really difficult to face the pain that I saw up until I was 12 years old. And alcohol and addiction was a way for me to survive. It was a way for me to have belonging with people who were also struggling. I was a victim. I didn't know anything better. I wasn't taught anything better. I definitely stayed in codependent relationships and I was in denial, and it was a lot. It was a lot. And the self-medicating really helped me to just get through my day. Unfortunately, what goes hand in hand with addiction is also perfectionism. So you're not only dealing with everything I just mentioned, but you're also aware of the fact that you're struggling. And because your parents were imperfect and projected a lot of crap onto you, you just always want to be monitoring yourself. My boobs weren't big enough, so I got implants. My ears stuck out too much, so I got my ears pinned. I had such debilitating social anxiety that I couldn't speak in public at a party without having several glasses of wine. I was constantly monitoring myself and never happy with who I was. And there were 2 things that kept me going in life, and it was innate. It was natural. I wasn't conscious of it, but the first thing was hope. And oddly enough, my name is Cassandra Hope, but hope was something that I always had. Even though I didn't know how I was going to get there, I knew I was going to have a better life. If I'd ever given up hope at any point in my journey, I would not be here today as a happy, healthy woman. My mother, funny enough, when she was pregnant with me, told me a story that she hoped and hoped and hoped and hoped that I would be born okay. And I feel like that intention bathed my spirit with hope, and allowed me to become who I am now. The other thing that I didn't give up was curiosity. I stayed so curious about everything, as Jenny knows. I wanted to know why. Why am I sick? Why is my gut doing these things? Why am I acting the way I'm acting? I never gave up curiosity. And that curiosity is what led me to learning. And that learning is what led me to wisdom and healing. And that healing is what led me to develop a business where I can help others. I had no idea this was happening while I was doing it. I always, because I was a perfectionist, kept thinking this isn't enough. Keep learning, keep acquiring knowledge, take more courses, see more therapists, see more practitioners. I can't even tell you how much money I spent to try to heal, to heal myself, because I have. So for that, I am grateful. There's a woman that I met 1.5 years ago. She's here today. My business partner and friend, Dr. Robin Murphy. I'm gonna bawl again. I met Dr. Murphy at a conference. We just happened to sit next to each other. I had no idea who she was. She actually wasn't accepting any new patients at the time. She was working in a clinic doing genetic research, and she took me on as a client, as a patient. She just felt that she knew she could help me And she did. It was the first time in over 20 years that I began to feel relief from my gut symptoms. I suffered from debilitating gut issues from anxiety and the abuse of drugs and alcohol. It had finally happened. I mean, it took me months to actually believe that this was happening. It took me a long time to actually absorb the healing. From my relationship with Robin, I also have developed a business together. We're the co-founders of the IBS Academy, where we have dedicated our lives to helping other women and men who suffer from chronic gut issues. And we help them in supporting them in mindfulness techniques and stress management, and all of the learning during my struggles, all of the information that I acquired during that time of struggle is now my business. And that is the most unique part of my story to me. It's not the fact that I healed, it's the fact that the cause became the cure, that what was my pain and what held me back in life for so long actually became what I do for a living and how I give back. So I can't say enough about these two women that are here today supporting me and also speaking. Jenny, in my time in her office, where it was always filled with no judgment and pure compassion, she helped me realize that I could reparent myself. She taught me how to create healthy boundaries, how to expect more from people, and that I was worth that. She taught me a lot, really a lot, and for that I'm so grateful, Jenny. So, in closing, I don't know how much time I have left, if I have more. Yeah? Okay. So, really, I guess in closing, I can keep going with that. It's so amazing to me to hear people's stories as a practitioner, because they do share a lot with you as a nutritionist and a stress management coach. They share a lot, and it's not my job to fix them. It's not my job to heal them. Really, I'm there to help ask the questions that might lead them to awareness, because awareness, I think, is so amazing as human beings. I really do believe that once we have awareness, healing comes. So breaking free of denial and breaking free of that fog is such a beautiful thing, because we can then go into action. And I really commend people who have the courage, because it takes a lot of courage to break free from the things that keep you numb and feeling safe unconsciously. So that's my story. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you.